Look up at the night sky. On most clear nights, you can find a tiny, reddish point of light. That is Mars. It seems so close. A neighbor in our cosmic cul-de-sac. For centuries, we have dreamed of visiting. We imagine walking on its rusty soil, looking up at its pink sky, seeing our own blue Earth as a distant star. The dream feels within our grasp. We have sent rovers. We have mapped its surface. The next logical step, it seems, is to send people. It is a grand and noble ambition, one that speaks to the core of our exploratory spirit, the urge to go to see to know. But here is the cosmic catch. Getting there is hard. Unbelievably hard. First, let's consider the friction of time and distance itself. The trip takes many months. This is not like a long-haul flight across the Pacific. This is an unprecedented period of isolation and confinement. For over half a year, a small crew will be locked inside a space no bigger than a small apartment. They will see nothing outside their windows but the blackness of space and the shrinking dot of Earth. The psychological strain is immense. Small annoyances can grow into major conflicts. The mental health of the crew is a critical mission parameter, as vital as the integrity of the hull. Next, this long journey exposes our astronauts to a constant, invisible threat: radiation. Here on Earth, we are protected by our planet's magnetic field and thick atmosphere. They are like a planetary force field. But once you leave low Earth orbit, that protection is gone. You are in open space. Cosmic rays, solar flares, streams of high-energy particles bombard the spacecraft relentlessly. This radiation can damage DNA and potentially affect the brain. Shielding can help, but shielding adds weight. And weight is the enemy of space travel. Also, think about communication. We are used to instant contact. Because of the vast distance and the finite speed of light, there is a communication delay, 4 to 24 minutes one way. A question and answer could take nearly an hour. There is no instant Houston. Astronauts must be autonomous, experts, mechanics, and doctors, solving problems in real time. Our bodies are beautifully adapted for life on Earth, tuned to its gravity, its atmosphere, its ecosystem. Take away those conditions, and our bodies begin to struggle. The friction of microgravity is significant. Months in weightlessness change you. Without gravity, muscles atrophy. Astronauts exercise 2 hours a day just to slow it down. Bones shed mass, about 1 to 2% per month, like accelerated osteoporosis. Arriving at 38% gravity, weakened bones risk fractures. Fluids shift upward, faces puff, legs slim, the heart may weaken. We are still learning how bodies adapt to Mars gravity after 0G. Will a healthy astronaut stand and work without fainting on Mars? It is a critical question. The immune system can be suppressed in space. Dormant viruses can reactivate, turning minor illnesses into serious risks. Millions of miles from a hospital, the crew must be their own doctors, with limited tools. Every small health risk is magnified by distance and isolation. This is a profound biological friction. In space travel, mass is everything. Every gram you launch demands fuel to escape Earth. This is the brutal rocket equation. You must send the crew, their habitat, food, water, air, tools, experiments, and a way to come home, or the gear to make it on Mars. It all adds up to colossal mass. For a multi-year mission, you cannot pack enough water or oxygen. You must build closed-loop systems. Recycle breath, sweat, urine, scrub CO2, and generate oxygen. These systems must be incredibly reliable. A breakdown is not an option. On ISS, backups and resupply exist. En route to Mars, you have only what you bring. Fuel to launch from Earth, fuel to land on Mars, fuel to launch from Mars. Carrying it all is nearly impossible. The leading solution: make propellant on Mars. ISRO, using CO2 and water ice. But that means landing a mini fuel factory before the crew leaves Earth. More complexity and failure points. These machines are the most complex we build. Research, development, testing, construction, costs reach hundreds of billions, even trillions. This requires sustained political will and global cooperation. Budgets can be cut, governments change, public interest can wane. Securing long-term funding is the greatest friction of all. The dream has a very high price tag. Assuming our astronauts survive the journey, they face their next great challenge, Mars itself. Landing is famously difficult. Engineers call it the 7 minutes of terror. The air is too thin for parachutes and wings alone, yet thick enough to generate tremendous entry heat. You need heat shields, supersonic parachutes, and powerful retro rockets. It is a nail-biting, fully automated sequence. One tiny error spells disaster. Mars' atmosphere is about 100 times thinner than Earth's, roughly 96% carbon dioxide, completely unbreathable. Astronauts must live in pressurized habitats and wear complex suits every time they step outside. Suits must provide oxygen, regulate temperature, and protect against radiation, while limiting dexterity. A tiny tear or leak could be fatal. Life depends on technology, just millimeters from a deadly environment. Temperatures can swing from 20 degrees C to 100 degrees C between day and night. Dust storms can enshroud the planet for weeks. Fine, abrasive dust gets everywhere, clogging equipment, jamming seals, coating solar panels. Systems must withstand cold and relentless dust. Regolith contains perchlorates, toxic to humans. Strict protocols must keep dust out or risk water contamination and thyroid harm. So, the journey to Mars is a tower of stacked frictions. Distance makes the trip long. The long trip magnifies radiation and microgravity. Protecting against these adds mass, and mass drives bigger rockets and exotic fuel strategies, like making it on Mars. Complexity and risk increase. Every puzzle piece adds to the astronomical cost and political friction, a daunting chain of cause and effect. But we are problem solvers. A stack of frictions is a to-do list. For radiation, new, lightweight shielding, and even magnetic fields. For bone loss, refined exercise and medical treatments. For mass, lighter materials, more efficient engines, on-demand 3D printing. Each problem has a team. The key is methodical, stepwise progress. Use the moon as a testing ground, close enough for quick returns if things go wrong. There we test habitats, life support, rovers, and dust techniques. The moon is a critical stepping stone on the path to Mars. This is a long-term engineering project. Patience, persistence, collaboration. The frictions are real, but not insurmountable.